What's up guys, this is Yasin. So Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem just dropped in, at least in North America, a few days ago, and I've already seen some people do pretty well with the newer decks, especially Orcus Mitsurugi, because, you know, obviously that's a pretty good one. It plays Mitsurugi cards, which, you know, it's already tier 1 right now, as well as Orcus cards, which have been tier 1 a few times in the past. However, now we are going to be going over Fiendsmith P.U.N.K, which, well, or I guess P.U.N.K, Fiendsmith, whatever, it doesn't matter, who cares, which is another deck that I've had my eyes on for quite a while because I have seen it do also pretty well in the OCG. And yeah, it can play a lot of non-engine, it has a lot of starters, it's pretty good going first and second, so overall it's just a really good deck, and the new support is incredibly good. There's a new main deck monster as well as a new extra deck monster. So yeah, just like pretty much everything else, it got 2 new cards. I mean, I think Gem Knight got a lot of cards. Yeah, like Gem Knight, Necros, etc., like and Fabled, like the terminal decks, they got more support. But then Dragon Maid, Orcus, and P.U.N.K is just 2 cards each. And yeah, I plan on making a video on each of the newer decks, I guess, or like the older decks that got new support, pretty much every single day if I can actually stick to it for the next couple of days. But anyways, before we go any further, you already know the drill. Smash the like and subscribe button. It really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And also huge shout outs to my Blue Eyes and Crystron spreadsheet, which you can find on my website, yacineygo.com. Very first link at the top of the description box below, as always. And also huge shout outs to my sponsors, Supreme Pro at tsx1.com, and use the coupon code YACIN for 10% off. And with that being said, let's get right into combo number 1. Okay, so for this one, all I've got is Yamin, nothing else, no discard for Foxy Tune because we're not actually relying on Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune is basically an emergency teleport in this deck. But yeah, anyways, we're going to be searching for the new monster Rising Scale, which can summon itself by banishing another P.U.N.K card from your hand or graveyard, and then on special summon, you can pay 600 life points to take a P.U.N.K monster from your deck or grave, except a level 8, and either add it to your hand or special summon it. And also it has another effect where whenever your opponent activates a monster on, well, the effect of a monster on the field with 2500 attack or more, you can Book of Moon it, so change it to face down defense, and it's actually pretty good when you're breaking a Razor board going second, and you can flip that detonator face down so that it doesn't actually just destroy everything you got. It's a good card going first and second. Like I said, that's the reason why this deck is much better now. And yeah, that El Mirage is only really because we only really played because it allows us to get the Yamin in the graveyard so that we can summon that Rising Scale. But yeah, on the field, on summon, it's going to be summoning the Sharakusai, which can fuse for the Rising Carp, and then tribute that to summon the Deer Note as well as Wagon. Wagon can pay 6 to search the field spell, and the field spell has a up to twice per turn effect to draw a card whenever you pay life points to activate the effect of a P.U.N.K or Psychic monster rather. And yeah, we're going to be going for the Dragon Drive, and then Deer Note revives back the Rising Scale. Dragon Drive is going to be searching for the Yamin, and since we paid 600 life points to search a level 3 Psychic monster with it, we can draw a card, and then we can overlay for the Jam Fever, and then pay 600 life points to draw a card, and since we paid life points for the Jam Fever, oh my god, what the frick, we can draw another card, and then use the effect of the field spells in order to banish a P.U.N.K card from the graveyard in order to summon a P.U.N.K monster from the hand. And that's going to be whatever monster that you searched off of, what's-his-face. One thing that I should mention here is that if you play Madame Spider, which is the trap card searcher, you can search for Nashiwari Surprise or the other trap card that negates the effect of a monster. And that would be like 1 extra disruption, but you have to play like 2 extra bad cards in your deck. So it's a little unfortunate. So if you want to make your deck like have a better end board, obviously you should do that, but if you don't really care too much and you just want like a bare bones minimalistic deck, I think you should just play the way I am. And also remember that you can Fiendsmith combo at the very end, so yeah, with just 2 leftover monsters like El Mirage and whatever monster that you summon off of the field spell, you can just go into Moon of the Close Sky and then Fiendsmith combo, make Caesar, and you also have a bunch of cards in your hand, so that's really pretty cool. And also even Necroca Princess can draw a card. So if you draw like a, you know, Foxy Tune on top, then Foxy Tune can be used in order to pitch something from the hand to then trigger Necroca Princess to draw a card. That's really cool. Like, it's very easy to draw like 4 or 5 cards in this deck. So obviously 1 off of the Jam Fever, 2 off of the Extreme Session, 1 off of Necroca Princess, and then 1 off of the Wagon whenever your opponent tries to, you know, target one of your P.U.N.K monsters. I mean, it's not going to come up too often, it's very reactive, but it can come up. Okay, so in this combo, I have Emergency Teleport and absolutely nothing else. Emergency Teleport looks like it's better than drawing Yamin, but it's actually a little worse because this time we can't search the Rising Scale, which obviously would allow us to just play it a little better. We have to search for the Sharakusai right away, which means we don't have Rising Scale in rotation. And it's kind of frustrating because we can't go emergency teleport, summon Xiamen, and then, you know, make El Mirage. It's not normal summoned. So that's the reason why I said that it's worse. Now we would obviously go for the original line. So that's the reason I'm kind of fast forwarding a fair bit. And yeah, go for the Jam Fever, which is like the only thing that is different up until now. But this does respect Nibiru really well because you can go Fiendsmith combo, and then you are protected from Nibiru since we have Jam Fever to negate the Nibiru at any moment. And then at the very end of the combo, when you do have Caesar, then you don't really care about the material anymore. So you can actually, well, the negation anymore. So you can just go for the draw 2. Well, draw 1 and then field spell draw 1. So yeah, in other words, we're going basically just full Fiendsmith combo and we draw 3 cards in the process. And that's the main thing that makes the P.U.N.K cards really good. It's not even like the end board itself. It's a pretty reasonable end board. But it's all the draws that you're getting super easily. Okay, so in this combo, I have Xiamen as well as an extender. So obviously, Xiamen can also be Ogre Dance. And then Foxy Tune can also be Rising Scale, or it can be Emergency Teleport. There's infinite ways of like substituting this. Like there's so many cards that basically just do the same thing. But yeah, normal summon Xiamen in order to search the Rising Scale. So obviously, it could have also been the other way around. And then Foxy Tune discard itself and another card to summon the Sharakusai, summon the Rising Carp, summon Deer Note and Wagon. Wagon search the field spell, activate that. Synchro summon for the Dragon Drive, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, and then revive back the Rising Carp, search Ghost Ogre, and then the field spell is going to be drawing a card since we paid life points for the Dragon Drive, overlay for Jam Fever, and then we're protected from Nibiru because this can negate a monster effect. So summon the Rising Scale, revive back any monster, doesn't matter, and then we're going to be going for Moon of the Close Sky into Requiem, summon Lacrima, send Engraver, of course, and then Networker Princess, revive back Engraver, make Caesar, and then draw 1 card and draw another card with a field spell. So yeah, with 2 cards and a discard, or could have also been 2 cards if we had Emergency Teleport instead of Foxy Tune, ends up drawing 3 cards. It has Ghost Ogre, it has Caesar, and it also has a live Jam Fever that can negate a monster effect. So this is significantly better than a 1-card combo because with 1 extra card, we have 2 more disruptions, which is pretty good. I mean, it's 2 more disruptions than Emergency Teleport, but only 1 more disruption than, you know, just Xiamen, but still something to take in consideration. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And last but definitely not least, obviously, since this is the best combo so far, we've got a 3-card combo. So Ogre Dance for Xiamen, Foxy Tune or Emergency Teleport, and then the Rising Scale, and we're obviously going to be beating Imperm, but it's really just to show you that handtraps are not too great against this deck, because if we do get Impermed, we have the Wagon to chain so that we can draw a card, and there's so many ways of, like, there's so many substitutes for Xiamen that it doesn't really matter if it gets stopped, because with just bodies, we can go Fiendsmith combo, and the Rising Scale at the very end can really just allow us to, like, go back into the P.U.N.K engine and just do whatever we wanted to do before. So yeah, Rising Scale, banish whatever, and then summon the Sharakusai, and then Fusion summon for the Rising Carp, draw a card off of the Sharakusai, and then summon the Deer Note as well as Xiamen, go into Dragon Drive, and then Chainlink 1, search the Xiamen number 3, I think? This should be the 3rd one. Yeah, there we go. And then Deer Note, revive back Sharakusai, and the Chainlink 3 Xiamen in order to boost the attack of Dragon Drive, just so that we can chain block. And of course, the field spell is going to be drawing a card, and then special summon the Xiamen, synchro summon for Amazing Dragon so that we can revive back the Rising Scale, and then overlay for the Jam Fever. We already used the 2 effect, well, the 2 usage for Extreme Session to draw cards, so there's no reason to draw like another card of Jam Fever when we can just use its material to negate a monster effect instead. But this is a really good end board because we've got a monster negate with Jam Fever, we got 3 draws, we've got obviously the Caesar with the Lacrima and Requiem set up in the graveyard so that we can get Paradise in rotation for Fiendsmith the Sea-Rays graveyard effect. And we've got 2 other P.U.N.K monsters that are interruptions. So Rising Scale, it can Book of Moon an opponent's monster that has 2500 attack or more when it activates this effect. So obviously that's really good. Really insane against, I mean, Detonator, like I said. But there's also Sharakusai, which is absolutely correct because you can quick sync for a P.U.N.K synchro monster, and that would be the 2nd copy of P.U.N.K Amazing Dragon that we play in order to bounce back up to 3 cards the opponent controls. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 disruptions off of this combo, as well as draw 3 cards, which, like I said, is like one of the main things about this deck. It's really just all the draws that you get, and like the good half boards that you make through disruptions, because we did get impermed on the Xiamen, and it really changed absolutely nothing to her life. Pretty nice combo. Let's get into the deck profile now. Alright, so for the deck list, I'm playing 12 P.U.N.K starters, I mean at least starters on their own, so 3 Ogre Dance, 3 Foxy Tune, 3 Xiamen, and 3 Emergency Teleport. If you draw any of these cards just by themselves and nothing else, you can play the game. However, if you draw like Rising Scale and any P.U.N.K card, then you can play the game very well, so that's also a really good card. But I think this card is like slightly worse to draw than any of them. That's the reason why this is a 2 of, but it can also just be a 3 of. If you want to cut like Engraver to 1 or something, and that's technically something that you could do. Anyways, 1 Sharakusai, 1 Wagon, 1 Deer Note, 1 Field Spell. Very minimalistic on the P.U.N.K cards. I'm now playing Madam Spider as well as the Dangerous Gabu or Nashiwari Surprise. So yeah, to me, it's just like extra bricks, extra unnecessary cards, and win mores. And then obviously the Lori, Lacrima, 1 Shrag, 2 Engraver. Really minimalistic on the Fiendsmith cards as well. And the 1 of Paradise. I'm playing 40 cards because I wanted to play minimum 16 non-engine. So 15 hand traps there, 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Imperm, 2 Pearlia, 1 Ogre because it's searchable off of the Dragon Drive, and then 1 Cobb at the Grave. I'm only playing 1 Dragon Drive, by the way. I know I'm like skipping from the main deck to the extra deck right away, but only because it can easily revive itself back from the graveyard whenever opponent activity card or effect in response to your P.U.N.K card. So yeah, your grind game is actually really insane in this deck. But yeah, anyways, 40 cards. I think this should be relatively straightforward. For the extra deck, obviously half of it is like Fiendsmith cards, the other half is like P.U.N.K cards, with like a little bit of utility here and there. So 1 Diasire, 1 Rising Carp, 1 Necroquip, 1 Psychic and Punisher, double Amazing Dragon, because sometimes you summon the first one on your turn so that you can keep extending or get the levels that you need on your field, and then you overlay for Jam Fever on top of one of them, and then the other one you're going to be Quick Sync into it on the opponent's turn with the Sharakusai. 1 Dragon Drive because it just recycles itself back infinitely. 2 Jam Fever, it's super easy to make, so I think the second one is definitely worth playing. And then obviously Caesar, SP, so that you can remove some stuff. It could also be Agnum Day instead, Sequence, Moon of the Sky, Requiem, as well as El Mirage for those 1-card combos featuring Xiamen, so that your Rising Scale is always going to be live just off of Xiamen and nothing else, because Xiamen Search Foxy Tune is not as good as Xiamen Search Rising Scale. So yeah, that's it for the main and extra deck idea section. I'm just going to go over super quick. So a 3rd Rising Scale, if you want to use some Bestials, 2nd copy of Deer Note, you can definitely do that. Some people are doing it. I don't necessarily think that it's bad. The Madam Spider as well as the Chop cards, if you really want extra juice and more disruptions, because I really showcase like the most minimalistic route, but obviously if you're willing to play more bad cards in your deck, clearly you can make much better boards, especially if you're playing Gold Pride cards or the Goblin Biker cards. Then your end boards are going to be completely nasty, but then your deck's no longer P.U.N.K, it's really just like a pile deck of, you know, P.U.N.K cards and Goblin Biker or whatever Gold Pride cards. Anyways, another copy of Dragon Drive. The Duration, the Cursed Thunder Guard, it's a really good card, but it's really difficult to like quick sync on this card into your opponent's turn. I mean, you can't, because Sharakusai can only allow you to synchro summon a P.U.N.K synchro monster on the opponent's turn. So that's the reason why I'm not a really big fan. I think Psychic and Punisher is still a better card to summon on my own turn. And then yeah, Dingirasu for those 2 level 8 monsters every now and then, or Harbinger, or Dragalubion and New Round Dragon, but the extra deck space is super tight. Agnum Day, IP, Link Spider. There was a combo in testing where it came up, like if I got hit by Nibiru, I'd be able to like turn the Nib token into like an effect monster, and then with any other extender I was able to make Moon of the Close Sky to Fiendsmith combo. Triple Tactic Talent, and then the Chop cards, of course. But yeah, that's it for this combo and deck profile video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Peace.